We are live. I hope everyone will enjoy. Let me know if the music is too loud. It's the first time I use StreamYard for a tier list video. I don't even hear myself. So I guess that's one sign. Um, so yeah, I will share the stream around. There we go. Everything is ready. Okay, so this is coming from me, and I will say this. I played around 30 games, player versus player, in Advance Wars, Reboot Camp. A lot of games were not recorded. I will say half of my games were actually recorded, either on live or in videos. Hi, Elizabeth. Welcome to the stream. I am doing good, and you? I hope you are doing good as well. So this is my tier list. Um, so yeah, amazing. Okay, so the first seal that is kind of rock bottom. I think it's clear for everyone. Flack is trash. Um, is the music too high? I am wondering. Is the music too high, or you don't hear it, or you barely hear it? So is the music fine? Waiting for the stream to catch up to what I said. Music too loud or just okay? Oh, it's too loud. Okay. Guess I'll lower it down. Music is not fine. Hi, Advanced Warrior. Welcome to the stream. Let me know. Is it too high or too low? Oh, okay. That's the point of it. Is it better now? Is it too loud? Is it okay? We are still at the start of the stream, you know. Um, this is okay. So right now it's okay. Okay, that's okay. So yeah, this is coming from someone that played roughly 30 games. Roughly. Flack, rock bottom. If you say otherwise, you're a Flack fanboy, and I cannot convince you. See you later then if you drive home. Yeah, that's true, Elizabeth. So, next up, Andy Clone. That's Andy Clone, bro. That's uh, the true Andy is middle, but Clone Andy is trash. Clone Andy is trash because he doesn't have a super. He only has his power. Um, that's fine. Like he has the buff, but he only has the buff. You know, it's just hyper repair. Next up, I will get into it, man. I will get into it. Don't worry. I have good arguments. Jess. We all know the deal with Jess. If her infantry and mech were not shit, she would be better. But Jess has terrible capture game. Keep trying, Advanced Warrior. We are not at semi yet. But yeah, Jess, I like things. They are good. But man, these infantries, these infantries are awful. And there's no comp tower on Advanced Wars Reboot Camp. So there's no way to make your tanks stronger. Yeah, our tanks need buff. Uh, Elevate them to 20% instead of 10. Next up, Adder. Adder, classic pick. It's a safe pick if you play bottom tier. He is in the middle of it because he's better than the three others, but weaker than Sonya and Sammy. Adder is just the average Joe. Like, he has no weakness, so he's quite easy. You just spam power. Sometimes you use super here and there, but most of the time, you just spam power. Now, Sonya is bottom tier because her bad luck is terrible. It's awful. The other day, I fought someone that used Flash, and I was trying out Sonya, and there were many, many times where I should have killed the units. And the units survived, and I got effed over after that. So Sonya bad luck is just horrendous. It is painful, Advanced Warrior. It was one of my most painful defeat I got. And that's funny because that map was also shit. There was a base contested in the middle, and for half of the game I was able to deny my opponent his base in the middle. But I still lost because many of his units were just not freaking dying. They were not dying because I'm Sonya, and sometimes Sonya is like, yeah, I'm not killing your buddy. It's like, okay, whatever. Yeah, it was painful. Very painful. So, now, you were waiting for that one, right? Sammy. Okay, I have fought Sammy and I have played Sammy. And it's hilarious. I played her at least 4 times. I got no victory whatsoever. And I defeated 4 Sammy. So not only I lose as Sammy, but I also beat Sammy. I have not seen a game where Sammy won. And sometimes that's on COs with even Playground or similar. Sammy is just not impressive in that current format. Now, some argue she is better in smaller map because they're better than me, Advanced Warrior. That's not an argument. You can beat me as anyone. Hi, Cario Goose. Welcome to the stream. So, Sammy, yes, she is slightly better in smaller map because her mech are better, but there are still better picks. Like Andy is the perfect counter to Sammy. Lash is another CO that just beat down Sammy really hard. Um, Max beat down Sammy even harder than the others. The only middle tier that can actually lose to Sammy is Grit. Um, so, man, I like to play Sammy, but she's just not that great. Having weaker direct unit makes her worst, and that may be a hot take, but in bigger map, Sammy can actually be really, really annoying because when it's a bigger map, it's harder for the opponent to interrupt caps because they need to spread their units. Okay, have a good one, man. So, because of that, Sammy belongs there. I'm sorry, Sammy. I want you to be better. You're not. Next up, normal Andy. Normal Andy is middle tier. He has no weakness. He has no strength. He has one of the best super in the game, but his lack of day to day makes him worse. So Andy, I just cannot say more about him because everyone will agree he's not that amazing. He's just the average Joe, you know? He's not trash. He's just the average Joe. Lash. She is better than Andy because she has an actual day to day. Her super is also slightly better than Andy's, but the price of her super is too high. She would be a better seal if her super was 6 stars instead of 7. But she's still playable. She is still better than any other seals we covered so far. This is why she is there, and I don't see her like going any lower or any higher. Lash is really good. You should try her out. Do not underestimate Lash power. Next up, Max. Some people may wonder why is he in the same tier as Indy and Lash. It's simple. Max weakness is awful. You need indirect. In smaller maps, it's easy to create lots of choke points. I've seen a lot of map where there's a lot of choke points and it's perfect to have indirect. So Max is not that great in reboot camp. There are no comp towers, so all he has is like is really strong direct unit, and that's it. Now, Grit is another weird take there. A lot of people will be like, "What? What? Um, Grit is the same as Sammy. I played him at least 2 times. Actually, no, I played him, yeah, 2 times. So one of the 2 times I lost against Auk. And Auk was just battle copter spamming really hard. And I got demolished. The other time I played as Grit, that was a mirror match. And there was a first turn advantage I didn't know about in the map. And I was player 2, so I lost. But then I fought 2 other Grit players and I destroyed them really hard. One time it was with Max, and the other time I actually forgot which CO I was. But I remember as Max just destroying a Grit player. Grit is not that impressive. Fog of War really makes Grit worse, and since it's a smaller map, it's easier for someone to just rush into his indirect and kill them. It's easy to scout Grit indirect. And the fact that Grit has trash direct units, he cannot really defend himself. Like, his only way to beat down someone is to create walls, and he has his indirect behind the walls. But the moment someone breaks that wall, Grit is done. He lost. So he is one of the hardest seal to play in the game, just like Sammy. So this is why I think Grit belong there. All of the other seal above Grit, you don't need brain to use them. You just use them. Maybe Eagle is a bit smarter than the other 4, but a beginner can beat down people with the I tier. This is why I think Grid is middle tier. He is really hard to play. I have not seen him winning any game on Advance Wars Reboot Camp, and at least 4 game involved Grid. at least. Maybe I lost. Maybe I forgot. I should say. Maybe I forgot other games he was involved. Even on Advanced Wars by Web, is like the weakest in Tier 1. Front switching is also a grid killer in Fog. Yeah, exactly. So I understand the statement that in standard grid is really strong, but I'd argue in smaller map he's actually a bit weaker because it's easier to close the gaps. But yeah, I think grid belongs there. Next up, Nail. The reason why she's in the bottom of I tier it's because she doesn't need any brain cell to work. She's just great. Sometimes she will hit you harder. Her power and super are kind of crazy, so it's very effective. And she's not hard to play at all. I think she's weakest in I tier, but she destroyed pretty much anyone that's not in I tier. Maybe Max has a chance against Snail because he has that extra space she doesn't have. But even there, she doesn't have any weakness. So that extra space you don't care because you can use indirect with Nail, while with Max, indirect are just awful and unplayable. And forget it, if it's Nail versus Andy, Andy is done. There's no way Andy can compete with a CO that basically has no weakness. Just watch ally else in enemy terrain. If both check out, fire away. Yeah. So Nell is easy to use. That's why she's that high. Maybe Lash can compete with Nell because in some terrain Lash can have better firepower and Lash mobility is also slightly better than Nell's because of her power and super. But even there, Nell super is 6 stars and Lash super is 7. So with that being said, I I think Nell is just straight up better than Lash. Now, if we place Nell side by side with the other I tier, Nell can have the upper hand on Eagle until Eagle has his super. Once Eagle has his super, if he is smart, he wins. There's no way Nell can come back from 2 Eagle turn. Um, so I think that's the end of the debate for Nell versus Eagle. Drake. Okay, Drake usually in Advanced Wars by Web is considered tier 3. I think he is underrated. He is way too good. Global damage is broken. Even if you got a shit day to day, you got global damage. Hello, Ahmad. How are you? I hope you are doing fine. I'm glad to see you in the chat. So we covered the tier list of the COs in Reboot Camp Style 2. So flag is on flag tier. Yeah, actually, you're damn right. I will create a flag tier. You know what? I will create a flag tier. Flag tier. Best tier ever. Flag tier. There we go. Flag tier. Um yeah, so we were about to say global damage is OP, broken, absurd nonsense. Nell will have a better day to day than Drake. She may end up having the lead for a few turns, and then Typhoon appends. She doesn't see shit anymore, and she lost 2 HP everywhere. Okay, and Drake Bomber tier. Indirect Bomber tier. There we go. So Nell and Drake It's nonsense. The moment there's a typhoon, Drake automatically has the lead until Nell recovers the damage she lost because of typhoon. And even there, some of Nell unit will run out of fuel. So because you're wondering, I will get shortly back at her because we already covered her, but I can repeat it since you just came in. She is bottom tier. Every game I played that involved Sammy, either me playing as Sammy or my opponent playing as Sammy, every single Sammy game I've seen, she lost. She has won none. And there were a few fights where she was against Andy, Lash, Adder, Sonya. She has seen everyone, and she has lost to everyone. Not having income tower really hurts her game because her direct unit are bad, and it's really bad. Victory March is a non-factor because when you're smart enough, you lock your buildings. You just lock your buildings, and then the proud Victory March feel flat. You save like 8 stars and you end up with nothing. Um, so yeah. Next up would be Eagle. So Eagle, the reason why he's there, we already explained. He is able to just destroy Nell with his super, and yeah, that's how it is. He just destroys Nell with his super. Lightning Strike is the strongest super in the game. You just clap pretty much everyone below that. The close fights were with people that have better day to day, like Max. But even there, I argue Eagle day to day is better because his weakness is not really a weakness. Maybe Lash, but even there, Lash will lose to Lightning Strike because Prime Tactics is just not as good as um, Lightning Strike. Yeah, it's 9 stars, but you get to play 2 turn, bro. It's a good thing it's 9 stars. If it was 8, he would probably be in top tier. 9 stars makes him balanced. Yes, he takes forever to charge, but when you get it, you get it. If you're smart, every building that can make units, just make 2 units. If you saved enough money, you double your number of units almost. The other thing, most map have airports, so his strength is in most map. It would be way too good, 8 stars. Way too good. Um, the other thing, even if you don't have air unit, Eagle is so good because his super still affect his ground units. So this Eagle in a nutshell. The guy went out a true weakness because let's be honest, naval are bad, so nobody used navals. Actually did once, that was funny, but even there. The reason why Eagle is lower than the others are global damage. Like, global damage should deserve their own tier. This is how good global damage is. So I actually consider making a tier global damage. You know what? That's exactly it. I will make the tier global damage. I will make the global damage tier. I I tier global damage tier. There we go. Board white tier. Yeah. You're not done about what's going on? Just pop it. Yeah, but even there, if you're smart and you fight Andy, you push with your global damage. So yes, Andy will recover, but first of all, Andy will lose funds on his buildings, and on top of that, the units you're able to kill during Winter Fury or Typhoon or Black Storm, every unit you kill won't be repaired. So even if Andy can kind of deal with it better than other COs, someone a bit smart with global damage will force Andy into using his power first, or they will just do a push while they use the super. So you make a good point, but it's not as cut and dry as some people might think. So yeah, Drake is the weakest in global damage because he has shit air units, which is kind of sad. And his naval unit are actually good, but naval unit are shit in the game, so it doesn't matter if they are good. Olaf is basically a better Indy. He has no weakness, and is super really f over the game. Like there's no everywhere, nobody can do anything. It's hilarious for Olaf and really sad for everyone else. Oak. Um, so Ock is just peak global damage because all of his units are just slightly stronger. So this means it deals more damage, and because it deals more damage, he generates a bit more funds than other seals and faster. Blackstorm is OP. Blackstorm is amazing. Blackstorm broke the game. Enough said. Colon. The reason why I placed Colon lower than Kambai, it's because Kambai is slightly stronger. Kambai units are just beyond what they should be for their price. You get a 20% more expensive unit, but it deals 30% more damage and it receives 30% less damage. So your units are most likely going to stay on the field. It's really hard to just take on Kambai like that. You need to outnumber him and outtake him at the same time. This is why the Colin and Kambai matchup kind of works, because Colin can outnumber you and outtake you. The other COs, they cannot really outtake Kambai. Even if Kambai units are more expensive and you won't see that many medium tank, Kambai tank are so crazy they can deal with medium tank. That's how stupid this is. Or like a medium tank of Kambai is just unkillable by Nia tanks and other medium tanks. So Colin is like the quick answer. You outnumber your opponents. You have Nia tank when he still makes tanks. That's funny. But yeah, Kambai is still impressive. Um, the reason Colin is lower is his weaker firepower. There's no com tower. So this means you will always remain weaker than your opponent. The moment your opponent pops a power, it's worse for you because they got more defense. But Colin is so busted. He is so broken because, I mean, you make tanks, he's already making new tanks. That's how it goes with Colin. Like, you have infantries, he has break-on tanks, he's running after you. You don't have time to capture anything, he's just wiping your cheeks if you're not a I tier seal. So Colin slightly weaker than Kambai, but he's still like top tier. He beats down everyone. It's a non-factor. Global damage against Colin is a non-factor because I mean Colin. Colin is the answer to everything. Um, Sensei is better than both Kambai and Colin because he will outnumber them. His weakness is not that bad because he will swarm the battlefield. It's no surprise if Sensei hit the unit cap. It's no surprise. That's why Sensei is so good. I don't see Kambai ever winning to Sensei. It's just impossible. Except if the Sensei player kind of sucked and he wasn't able to secure any building, then that's another story. But usually Sensei should destroy Kambai every time. Maybe Colin can try, but even there. Achi better than Sensei because he can make tanks on cities. Exactly, Trigoose. Exactly. You said it. Sensei's proof that unit count is more valuable than unit value. Exactly. You hit the nerve at the right place. He also captured King. Yeah, exactly. He will always outnumber your infantry count. Always. 2 stars for copter command? It's ridiculous. So next up, Achi is better than Sensei. Yeah, Broken Storm. Broken Storm is nonsensical. Um, but yeah, Achi can make unit on buildings. It's hilarious. You thought you were winning, Colin. Look at my street and you think already on the front line. Bring your bomber in. I got missile on the front line just to shut them down. And guess what, Colin? My unit don't have weaker firepower. They just don't. And we got the right team. Well, Storm is coming. Storm in this game is 120, 120. Yeah, Trigros, that's a close matchup. But Achi comes on top because he has no weakness. But Sensei can come on top for sure if he is smart. Sturm! 120, 120. That guy doesn't give a F about terrain. On Advanced Wars by Web is quite annoying. On Reboot Camp, forget it. It's beyond. He is like his own tier. Like, I will actually make a tier for Sturm. Sturm tier. You know, if you're the final boss of a game when you have a tier of your own, this is Stern tier. I wish good luck to anybody that comes after Stern. Like, the only two I can see maybe doing something serious to Stern would be Achi and Sensei, but there's no way they can beat him. He just doesn't care. He doesn't need any super. His day to day is a super in itself. So, this was my tier list. They don't make video games like they used to. You know what's funny, Trius? Even in the original game, it was like that. Storm was on top. Like, this list is probably the same list for the original game. Exactly, Alex. I will add a bit more to this. I would say some of the seals would move around a little bit in the original game because the map were bigger. In this game, you cannot play online with the biggest map you can make. The online is very limited. So, with that being said, my point being making final bosses playable. Sheoken. Yeah, so future video plans. a lot of discussion about reboot camp, and this is a tier list for all of you. I didn't plan to make that one too long, so thank you for everyone that just came in. So you know what to do, right? Like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to look at the community tab. Over there, you will see the planning for the next streams in the next few days. So thank you a lot for watching, and man, I'm out. That was a great time right now. I enjoyed my time. I hope you did.